Greetings and welcome to the Griff Report. NCAA tournament first round. First off, let me apologize for going 0-2 on opening night. I went 2-0 tonight. Try to do the best I can with some of these college teams. You don't get to see them as much as you get to see the pro teams. So when you're not familiar with it, I mean, what can you do? We'll start out. UNC minus 25, taking 79% of the bets. UNC went to the Final Four 2 years ago, missed the tournament last year. Looked to be a veteran team, hungry for a deep run in the tournament. 6-1 after a loss this year is UNC. While they're capable of covering this huge spread, it's a lot to lay there. You hope to get a better number on live bet. My pick for making a pick is UNC minus 25. University of Tennessee versus St. Peter's. Tennessee minus 21.5 here, taking 67% of the early bets. The Vols are 2-3 when favored by 21 or more this year. St. Peter's is 15-7 and 20-11 against the spread. This is a rough one here because you have to feel like the Vols are going to win. Dalton Connect is capable of putting up probably 40 or 50. I'm sure he's a lot of the Vols everything this year. How he goes will be how Tennessee goes. The 3-point defense is what the Peacocks have to bring for the year. They're holding teams to 31.5% for the year. Going against the consensus here, just take the points with the MAC tournament champions. Those teams usually put up a good showing in the tournament. That's a lot of points there, 21.5. I give Tennessee about a 40% chance to cover that. My pick is St. Peter's plus 21.5. The battle of MSU's, Michigan State versus Mississippi State. This one might be a toss-up. Coach Izzo is 2-0 as a 9 seed. They shoot the third best in the Big Ten this year. Now they're getting Mississippi State team that is sixth in the nation in defending the 3-point line at 29.4%. The other advantage is Tua Smith and the front court for the Bulldogs. The veteran bunch there. I normally wouldn't pick against the Spartans, but in this situation, I've watched a lot of Mississippi State lately. Them going through the SEC tournament. I'm going to take Mississippi State plus 1. Colorado State versus Texas. Texas minus 2.5. The Longhorns taking 70% of the bets. It's another toss-up game one, as this one features two of the best point guards in the nation. That's the Rams, Stevens versus Abemus for Texas. The Rams look really good in making me wrong on opening night of the tournament here. As I had picked against them, I picked Virginia, and they blew them out. These 2 point guards have met previously when Abemus was at Oral Roberts. That one went CSU's way, but he's a better supporting cast now. This one's a toss-up here, but I'm going to go with the team that I just watched seem to be playing in rhythm. Colorado State plus 2.5. NC State versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech is minus 5 here. The consensus is right about even, 54%. This one could go either way. ACC tournament had to be won by NC State just for them to get here. The rebounding battle could be the key here. They do have some injuries for Texas Tech. I'm unsure really on this game here, so I just take the underdog when I'm unsure. NC State plus 5. Oakland versus Kentucky. Kentucky minus 13.5. 71% of the bets on the Wildcats so far. Oakland's coach Camp says this is the best possible matchup for his team, playing his old friend John Calipari. The Wildcats have a young, talented team that a lot of us in the Bluegrass State think they could do. They could put up a banner this year. I mean, they're number one in the country shooting the three. Uh, Oakland is 230th in defending the three-point line. Wildcats looking to rebound after unexpected loss to Texas A&M. Well, unexpected, but we've had trouble with Texas A&M. Their guards and their guard penetration. They beat them. Always hate laying the big number with Kentucky is, you know, when they're favored like this, is not always the best time to bet on because they have inflated lines because they take in so many bets. So I'm going to try to get a better number on live bet. But my pick, just for making a pick here, is UK minus 13.5. Oregon versus South Carolina. South Carolina minus 1. 51% South Carolina overachievers, or are they underestimated? They face the Pac-12 champs from Oregon in the game that could go either way. No one really expects South Carolina to be as good as they have been this year in what's been a very good SEC. One thing to consider is the guard play here. That might be the advantage for the Oregon Ducks. If they bring in a veteran duo, this game may be the difference as guard play determines many games. Now the BPI and ESPN and the odds makers all have the Gamecocks as being a slight favorite here. The Ducks are the 11th seed. The question is how good is the Pac-12. I make my decision off the backcourt, and I just watched Oregon win. This game is a toss-up. You can probably get some points on either side here with live bet, get you a little insurance. If you watch just the game flow, I expect this one to go back and forth. My pick is Oregon plus 1. Akron versus Creighton. Minus 12.5, 44%. The Blue Jays face the MAC champs here. What appears to be on the surface talent advantage for Creighton. However, the Zips are 14th in the nation defending the three-point line. They have one of the best rebounders in the country. Plus, Akron has had their little touch of March magic already just to get here, winning the MAC tournament. Now, the Blue Jays are one of the only teams that have beaten UConn here, the defending champs. I actually take the underdogs here. It would surprise me if Creighton was to blow them out and win by 20. My pick is Akron 12.5. McNeese State versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga minus 6.5. Only taking in 35% of the bets here. Is Gonzaga back in the Cinderella role? Are they due for a run in the tournament here? Or is the slipper going to be on McNeese? Both teams playing their best right now. The Zags jumped back, started here with a game in Lexington where they came into Rupp Arena and beat the Wildcats. Actually, I was locked up in the mental health ward because the Nicholasville police don't want to do their job. Lejernio Zachomo, they were impressed in that game. It might be an outside top tier team that could make an Elite Eight run. McNeese State has won 11 in a row, holds opponents to 64 per game, scoring 78 per game. This is a step up in competition. The Zags hold opponents to 79 per game, scoring 83.6 per contest. The Zags not catching the early consensus, but they get a hot mid-major team that may be used as the Jags. As the Zags, they have several NBA players on their team now. Well, I would try to get a better number on live bet here, especially seeing the consensus all on the other side. Probably going to be able to get that lay less than 6.5 on the live bet. My pick is still Gonzaga minus 6.5. Stanford versus Kansas. Kansas minus 7. 79% of the early bets are on Stanford Bulldogs, which is kind of surprising to a naked eye now. Shorthanded Kansas will sure be coming in to put up a better performance than they did in the Big 12 tournament, where Cincinnati just booed them out. So after that blowout loss, you can expect them to be a little bit more focused this time. They get the Stanford Bulldogs, who are the underdog, but like I said, they're the heavy betting favorite. All the money is going on the Sanford Bulldogs. It's a major step up in competition. You got to ask, if McCullers were in the lineup, where would Kansas be at with their team projections? They do get Hunter Dickinson back from the shoulder injury. Uh, After the way things went against the Bearcats, he didn't play in that game. I would expect him not to come out sleepwalking here. 79% of the consensus on the Sanford might be a good place here where I get Kansas on live bet at even money or something. Sanford shoots the three good. This may be how well the Jayhawks are focused. Might determine this game here. Sanford lost to Purdue and VCU to start the season, and Kansas is more talented than either one of them, even with McCullers out. For me, it's wait and see on the live bet if the Jayhawks are able to control the paint. A little confidence. I'll take Kansas -7. Nevada versus Dayton. Nevada -1. 82% of this game may well be decided at the free throw line. Nevada shoots the ball almost 25 times per game from the line. Dayton about only 13 trips to the charity stripe. That sounds like free money for Nevada, but then you see the three-point line. Dayton is a high-volume three-point threat with a big man in the middle that's able to command a double team sometimes. If he can command that double team, then there's going to be open shooters at the line. If Nevada can't defend the three, they're in for trouble. Dayton is third in the nation in three-point percentage. Nevada's 36th in defending the tray. It'll be interesting to see who's able to impose their will and pace of play. If the threes are going in early, it may be difficult for Nevada. But if they're not, Nevada is 24-0 when they lead it after the first half. Nevada has the big man against the undersized Dayton front court. They may be able to inflict foul trouble on this team here as they like to get those free throws. And getting the team in foul trouble comes along with it. My pick is Nevada -1. Long Beach State versus Arizona. This is a pizza party game where the coaches have known each other for a long time. Long Beach State's coach, he helped Arizona's coach get his first job, and they went out and had a pizza party together there, getting together for this game here. Now Long Beach State's coach has been fired, but he still gets the coach as long as they keep winning. They have a 7-footer in the middle, and they're planning on playing the zone defense apparently in this game here. I don't get to see either one of these teams enough to really make a decision better than I'm going to say take the underdog plus 20.5 here. Well, Duquesne versus BYU, 62% on BYU. We got the Pope versus the King here. Mark Pope and BYU bring a three-point offense that the Wildcat faithful remember from back in his days in Lexington where they won a championship. Khalifa, the point guard, as the nation's second assist to turnover ratio, formula for success. But LeBron James, King James, is by every player on Duquesne's a new pair of LeBrons. Is he crowning them Cinderella for this tournament? We'll find out here. They're getting 9 points though. This might be a place where you might look at an underdog to play the outright upset here, possibly. BYU is a good team, and they have older players because of their commitments to their religion. But Duquesne is playing good ball. I just watched them. They took my money against VCU. I had a bet on VCU, so I watched them beat me the other day. Playing really good right now. They have a backcourt duo, both second team Atlantic 10 players. So they control the ball too, and a lot of stuff goes down to guard play in this tournament. I'll take Duquesne's +9. Morehead State versus Illinois. Illinois is minus 11.5. Big Ten champs versus the OVC champs. I always root for Kentucky teams. This one might be an uphill battle for them as a talent. Uh, Illinois appears to have the high ground there on the recruiting level. Um, the consensus is going 62% on the Morehead State Eagles right now. Um, they won the regular season and the tournament, and despite that talent gap, the stats appear to line up fairly well. The only thing being, Illinois is seventh in the country in points per game, 84.4 per game. The Eagles only scoring 72 a game, so I mean it's right on the spread, 12 points. So they have a tight line on this one here. It wouldn't surprise me to see Illinois put up 100. Um, my pick is Illinois minus 11.5, despite the faded consensus there. I'm sure there's some strong money on Morehead State. Drake versus Washington State. Drake is the consensus 67%. Is going on them. This game is a pick 'em. Wouldn't be surprised to see a mid-major win here. A lot of people were picking Drake. Contraction Styles and Washington State's only 3-3 in their last 6 games. All that good stuff. They are the bigger team though. They play a slower pace. That'll be the key for them. I haven't seen these teams enough to really go beyond that. But the only time I got to see Drake, uh, they lost my bet on them. I'll take Washington State in the pick'em game. South Dakota State versus Iowa State. 16 points is the spread here. After the huge win against Houston, where they just beat them by 30, this could be a potential letdown game for the Cyclones. Um, if not, they're due for a big tournament run. They look like world beaters in that game. They look like a team that could put a banner up. Surprise! They don't usually get a lot of national championship talk, but that's how good they were playing there. They get the 2 seed here. That's a really high seed for Iowa State. Um, I haven't got to see San Diego or South Dakota State this year, but what I've read, it appears a lot of people feel that this line is too big on this game and that they're going to compete better than the 16 points. So my pick is South Dakota State plus 16, even though I think they lose this game probably by 10 points or so. As always, best of luck and enjoy your Thursday. This has been the Griff Report, College Tournament Edition.